I finally have an actual desk. Let's put it together. Hey there, this is Tom, the Tom Tech Show. And as many of you know, I recently moved. We're in Florida now, and I didn't bring the desk with me. I left the desk at the other office in California, so I had to get another desk. What I was using earlier to begin with was this is a piece of plywood with a 1x2 screwed to the back of it so it doesn't droop, and then two TV trays. So that's been my desk, that's been my office for everything for the last couple of weeks. Well, now we have an actual desk here, so we're going to kind of go over the assembly. I know this company has videos on how to assemble it, and they give you, you know, little tools like this to put it together. And let me say, if you were to use this, you're insane. Okay, so let's take the spoiler zone off because we don't need, there's no spoilers here. Okay, so comes in a box, of course. It's a CubuCubi. Bought it on Amazon. Let's see if we can up here on Amazon. Here we go. It says easy to assemble. Well, not with their tools. So it's an L-shaped desk. It's got this little cloth drawer, which is all right. It's okay for a couple of paperwork things and maybe your headphones or something like that. But that's about it. Can't put anything heavy or anything. I've got to replace a pump control for the well. It's not latching, so I got to replace that. I don't think I would want to put this in that drawer because I think it's a little too heavy for it. So be aware of that. Okay, so it comes in the box, and if you take all the pieces out, up at the top here, there's a bunch of the braces for the bottom, all your legs, all your tabletops, and all that. So after that, pull everything out of the there's these little metal pieces. These are for the that are over here. These are for the drawer, and they come flat, and you take and you bend them, and bend them probably as much to right angle as you if you have a square. Be nice to, bend. There you can see the plywood desk on the TV trays, very up close and personal in that shot. So okay, so once you get them bent, they'll look like this. These little tabs here at the top will be out. You'll see how it screws in once we get to there. Okay. So now this is the drawer. Looks like a pair of underwear sitting there, but when you open it, it looks like that. And then we drop the harder piece in there, and then the dog is in the background. So, and then there it is all set. So inside there. Now I lay out the table pieces, and I had to do it this way because the dog wouldn't move. No, that's not true. So I wanted it this direction. So I have the L up against the wall, and then just the big section sticking out into the room. So you lay it out a little bit, and then you can screw. It says to use the proper screw, but it never tells you in the instructions really what screws to use. So at least I don't think. I didn't really look at the instructions much. Okay, so here's all the instructions. Here's the screws. It tells you to use a 3 screw to put those in, and a 3 screw, it just says, is the medium screw, which there's 13 of. They give you an extra, which is nice. It doesn't tell you the color of the screw, so it would be nice to know, okay, this, brass colored kind of screw goes there, and gets put in there. So, but if you think that, I kind of laid it out, got all the feet and that put together and stuff, because those pieces are gonna, match up and try and create some strength for this corner. And then, of course, these are the tools that they give you. This little, that screwdriver is microscopic. I can hold it between, my thumb and my finger. It's tiny. So you want to try and get a grip on that? No. And the other little thing? No. We're not doing that. We're grabbing a drill with a bit. That's what we're doing. We're not messing around. So, and that's what I would recommend, getting, the exact Allen bit and stuff, and putting it in there to screw these things in because no. Okay, so in between these little panels, there are dowel holes between the tops. So me being myself, thinking I want it to be strong, I got my Titebond glue out. It doesn't say to do this in the instructions, but yeah, I guess if you ever wanted to take it apart and switch it around, because you could switch it to go the other direction, you'd need to be able to take it apart. But I'm not taking it apart, so we're getting glue. So get the dowels in there, and then it screws in. So the little, but there's a gap, like right there between those two panels. You can see there's that gap, and I decided I'm getting a piece of wood and a hammer, and I'm hammering it so that it's back right up close to it. So that means that all of these legs need to be loose when you're doing this. So make sure to not tighten all the screws up until you get the dowels in and get it really tightened up and really firmed up. That's where the glue kind of comes in place and helps, because that's going to help form that tight bond between all of the pieces. And once it's all up and tight and snug, then I screw it down hard so that it's, going to be nice and tight. My drill, which is put away right now, I did use the lightest setting on the clutch. So these Ryobi drills have a clutch. You can set it for how much force and how tight you want the screw to be. I set it on the lightest because that seemed, I don't want to. There's always the chance of pulling these things out and ripping their little nuts that they have embedded into the wood out. So I always use the lightest setting, and that seemed to be really good. The desk is really strong and everything else. So now we do the dowels on the other side. Again, I get my hammer and my piece of wood, and I smack it in there to get it so that that line is all completely sealed, and then screw these screws in to the side. So that's key for that part, to get that nice and flush, because if you don't, then it's going to end up, you're going to end up having a big gap there, and it's going to, when you flip it over, it's going to look a little wonky. So make sure you get that all in there. Okay, then there's these bars that go across. There's this curved bar that goes across the top in the back, and that just screws in simply with some of the black screws. So if you notice, some of these screws here have changed color. So the ones that go into the wood are the kind of bronze ones. The ones that go into the other metal pieces are typically the longer of the black screws. So they're not really, it's really not quite clear. Okay, so long black screws, getting that put in place. Now then we have to put these wood pieces on. So if you see in the picture here on Amazon, in the back here, past where your feet are, there's these pieces of wood that kind of help hold the legs from twisting side to side. Okay, well, there's these screws, which are kind of like wood screws with the Allen wrench thing on the top of it, and those go into just some really teeny tiny holes in there. So if you wanted to use their little Allen wrench to tighten these things up, this is going to take you literally 3 to 4 hours. I mean, it's just going to be crazy. So I put those on, use the drill, don't even bother with their Allen wrench at all. Okay, then there's a metal bar that goes across. I don't know if I have a bigger picture of it. I don't think I do. There's a metal bar that goes across the back of the long. Let's go all the way back to the beginning here. We're laying it out. Okay. And here we go. So this over here, this one long piece over here on this one side, there's a screw hole in the middle that takes a bronze screw, and then there's a bar that goes across that to help hold the main desk in place. And that screws in with the bronze screw in the middle, and then the black screws on each end of it. As we move back forward. Okay, so that's this bar here that's going across the middle of that. So now we have the shelf that we bent, these pieces of metal that we bent. Okay, then we screw those in. There's a couple of holes, and there's holes on the other side, so that's where I know you can take and flip this around. So make sure you do it on the correct holes for this side. If you go and are screwing it on the other side, you're You're not gonna, and then the tabs that are in the back up here are there to stop the drawer from going back. So make sure your black tabs are in the back, and those get screwed in. Okay, now we're tilting it up, getting ready. I got to put the feet on. So there's the feet. They screw in. Will help you to get it level. If it's on a carpet, or you have the back edge might be on a carpet strip or something like that, help you to get it all leveled up. Spin them in. Then there's a little table for an extra computer or a laptop to sit in the back on one of the sides. I mean, I have my double monitor mount back here, but that you have to use their little Allen wrench to put it on, because there's no space to get the drill in there to screw it on. But it's pretty easy to get those tightened up. And then there's some little rubber feet that let you make it so this thing doesn't slide around very much. So, and then the drawer slides into the little spot, and boom, there's your drawer. And there's the desk all assembled. So I think it took me about an hour and a half to go through it all. Of course, I'm taking pictures and stuff as the whole thing gets put together. I think there it is with the chair behind it, and then there it is with my double monitor. Don't mind the garbage bag. The double monitor and my camera and ring light sitting there. So, there's a laptop over on the shelf. There's an Xbox up on the TV. I got my MacBook over here, and then down underneath the desk is my studio computer that I use to do all the video editing and everything else. So that's it kind of set up. But so it did go pretty smoothly. It did, a few little mishaps. I had one of the pieces of wood, one of the desktops flipped wrong. So make sure when you put it together that the dowel holes all meet up at the center corner, so that when you put the dowels in, they match up. Okay, yeah. So that's the CubuCubi desk. They do have some of their videos out there on it, but I just want to relay my experience with putting this desk together. I know a lot of people have made comments about putting this chair together, my Musi chair. Their instructions were a little confusing. So, but if you are going to buy one of these, number one thing is get a drill with the right hex bit and Phillips bit to put it together. Don't even try and use their little Allen wrench thing. It's going to drive you nuts, and you're going to think, why would anyone want to do this? So, all right. There you go. That's the CubuCubi desk. And thanks for watching. More videos to come. All right. Take care.